Production, talking Bulls playoff. I got my boy Marcus in the building. Got my boy Tim in here. How y'all guys doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm
Let's
good, man.
have a quick word of prayer. Father. Oh wait, it's the wrong show, man. What's
Yo,
good, everybody? How y'all feel, man?
we good, man. I wanted to get into it, man. Let's go right into it, man. I mean, the Bulls played yesterday, the Milwaukee Bucks. I probably got this a little bit too long. I'm gonna just cut this off.
Roll it off, cut it down. I want to roll. Let's vibe with that.
I can't. There's something wrong with this volume. Something going on with the volume, so I can't even get it right. Something going on with it.
Okay,
But
you got your phone from PC wireless.
I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks, man. I mean, the Bulls played yesterday. They lost yesterday, and actually, it was one of those games that you figure like, I hope they pull it out. They started. They was losing in the beginning. You like, this one of these games right here. Your first thoughts on the game. Let's start with you, Mark. What was your first thought when the game was actually before it started, and then when it ended? What was you at with it?
Well, let me take first when it ended, because that's going to segue kind of nicely into when it started. I thought that the bad start, even though we played well in times, the bad start put us in too great of a deficit to overcome. Milwaukee scored; they rattled off the first 9 points. With a 9-0 advantage, and we didn't shoot well. Milwaukee didn't shoot well either. And then you're on the road against the defending champions. You combine those things, and in particularly DeMar DeRozan, who wasn't DeMar DeRozan in the fourth quarter.
Right.
He just didn't make shots, and that's fine. I love what he said in the press game conference. He said, "Levine and I, we're not going to shoot this way the entire series." Coming into the game, I thought, we're behind the 8 ball. I mean, we're going to have to play very well, check all the boxes. There's no margin for error. So getting off to that bad start kind of hampered us. But here's the thing, where we didn't shoot well. Milwaukee didn't shoot well either. So that's kind of like a glass half empty, glass half full thing. Because you can say, well, we need to shoot better. And if we shoot better, we got a shot at the series. Milwaukee can say the same thing. If we shoot better, we'll win the series, which they already are the favorite. There were a couple of moments in the game that I'm not going to hog all the finer points. I know some of y'all got some moments that we just want to just talk about and wring the referee's neck, and we'll get to that. But I just thought that the bad start, the poor shooting, maybe those were even greater factors than the official. We always want to blame the officials, but if we overcome some of the things, then we have error, a margin for error.
Yeah.
For officials to do what they're going to do that we don't like.
Right. What you think, Tim? When you the beginning of the series or the beginning of the game to the end of the game, what was your thought process going into playing against Milwaukee, and then your actual thoughts when it actually ended?
Going into the series, I'm a homer. I'm a Bulls fan, so I'm thinking we can take this series if we can win game one. And at least win one out of the two there, and then come back home and win those two, and then ended it in Milwaukee. Then seeing that first quarter was like, oh God, here we go again. Like, this is the blowout. And my thinking was at the beginning of the game is like, me personally, I don't like seeing Caruso start. I don't. I think he's the spark off the bench that needs to come off the bench to help those guys with the second unit. But as the game went on, and I saw the poor shooting from DeRozan and Levine, and Levine getting in foul trouble. I'm like, here we go. It's one of those nights again where we're going to get blown off the floor, and a lot of people are going to say some stuff. But then that third quarter happened, and a lot of us, since the halfway point of the year, we all were on Vujicic's ass, like saying, listen, bro, when are you going to step up and start doing something? We're sick of your lackadaisic defense. He started playing defense. He started scoring the buckets and bringing the team back. And Kobe White started getting involved. And it was like, all right, I'm liking this. And then it went to the fourth quarter. I'm like, we're in a game now. We can win this game. Milwaukee's given us this game to take. It's ours for the taking. But again, it was the missed shots again was like, man, we're right there and we're not taking advantage of it. I do believe the substitutions at times by Billy Donovan was very questionable. Like, are you taking the guys out that have brought you to this point? I get they're tired, but hey, take them out for a minute or two and get them right back in. They're doing what they need to do. But then at the end there, Marcus said, questionable officiating calls at the end there that, took it away. But I felt good at the end of the game saying, okay, listen, we can make this a series now. In the regular season, we got blown out. But the way we played and the way Vujacic came alive, that's what they need to do. Stop relying on the three-point shot and start driving that ball in, because just watching how much the foul trouble they got Giannis in and they got Lopez in and the guard from over there. I forget his name. What the hell is his name? Holiday. We got Holiday in foul trouble by driving the ball. And it was like, man, we got to get away from that three-point shot and get away from that one-on-one BS, because that one-on-one BS worked in the regular season. You got to get guys involved now. You know what I mean? Like, and just to see where they were at, I think going into game 2, watching video and giving these guys an extra day to look it out, I think we're going to come out strong again.
Yeah. Marcus, when he said about Alex Caruso starting or whatever, your eyes is bucked. I want to know what's your thoughts about that?
You got to take him with a grain of salt, man, because he had some fantastic moments defensively and a couple offensively. I mean, he was huge with his plays. I mean, Milwaukee Bucks had 21 turnovers. We only had 11. Defensively, Caruso anchored that 21 turnovers. He anchored that. He's like Stacey King calls him an irritant. That is the perfect word. That's what Caruso is. But conversely and equally opposite to that, he is on the perimeter. It's like, put me in for Caruso on offense. I'll make more shots. And I haven't shot a ball in years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, oh my God. I mean, there should have been a bit more defensive offensive substitution for Heat and Kobe White in the fourth quarter. We'd like to have seen that. But, oh my goodness. And then there were some lapses that Donovan had. I thought early on he should have challenged that foul with Zach LaVine, because that gave him his fourth foul. He did not challenge it. We needed to. You can't wait. You can't hold on to that challenge in the fourth quarter. This is the type of game where you're going to have probably 3 or 4 plays that you're going to challenge, because it's the playoffs. Yeah, it's a low scoring game. Everything is microscopic. Yeah. So the bigger thing to challenge is a fourth foul on your superstar. So now you got to take them out of the game.
Yep.
And that was just I didn't think that anything challengeable down the stretch would be more significant than that. So Billy Donovan dropped the ball on that one because we had a chance to win that challenge. He did not challenge it, probably thinking that he would need it in the last few minutes of the game. So he dropped the ball on that one.
Well, and I think because like you said, in the beginning of the game, it was one of those games like, oh man, I mean, I don't want to see a game like this. After I just seen a game where Brooklyn played like they played, that was a good game. And knowing, like you said, Tim, diehard Bull fan, regardless of the fact if we were playing against the Warriors the first round, we figure we got a chance. Right. It don't matter. And that's what I think some people in our group thinking we're gonna get 4 and out. Nah, we're gonna win some game. And we thinking, like I said, we're gonna win a series, you know. Mm-hmm. Yesterday alone, right there. I mean, I was kind of on Vooch in the beginning because he was still shooting too many threes. I was like, damn, you shoot too many threes. And he killed down low. He killed in the paint. Yeah. So why not keep on going there? And I went on a Twitter, one of the Twitter's account, and they were showing he was just missing them. He was wide open. He was just missing them, you know. He hit a couple of them, but he missed more. he missed clutch 3-point shot to get us in the game like further than we were, you know what I'm saying? So as far as Caruso starting, it's like, who are you gonna have trouble?
Me personally, again, my opinion is I would start Kobe White just because the offensive spurt, because I felt like in that first quarter, even though Caruso was playing defense, there was no offense to combat what Milwaukee was doing. Milwaukee was just coming out hitting shots, and it was like DeRozan was missing, Caruso was missing, LaVine was missing, and it was like you have a shot maybe with Kobe White to get some buckets instead of being down 16. Maybe we're down 8 at that point. You know what I mean? So it's a whole different change of the game. And I feel like at times when the second unit comes out there, I feel like there's no spark. You know what I mean? Like before in the season when Caruso came off the bench, there was a spark. You know what I mean? So it was like they got the guys going. I also questioned in the first quarter was why was Tristan Thompson only played 2-3 minutes? The man went and got an offensive rebound and buckets, and we take him right back out. And it's like, wow, like that was kind of weird. But I think more of we should see nothing against Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams looked lost in the first half yesterday. Like he just didn't know what to do. Like I want to see the Patrick Williams that played against Minnesota. And I think that's on Billy Donovan to see that, he played that game without the superstars and he dominated. He needs to have that same mentality, and Billy Donovan needs to tell him that, hey, it's okay to be like that in this series because you are the X factor right now. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Vucevic Tristan Thompson lineup in there. You want to get big and physical and bang down low? Let's go, because I saw Bobby Portis pushing some of us around down there and Lopez and them. Why not counteract with the two big bullies down low? And say, I know we may not be fast enough, but Vucevic can handle the outside and Tristan Thompson can work down low because, again, I think one of the things is we talked about all year was rebounding. And every time I saw a lot of shots go up, I saw nobody down there grabbing rebounds.
Right.
And that's a problem. Like, you just can't think automatically that they're going to hit shots all the time. You got to get someone down there to challenge and get rebounds and get second chance points.
Well, I see Joseph Charles, he had put up, I'm going to go through a couple of questions. I mean, not questions, but a couple of comments. Joseph said, I guess Zach LaVine, he was going to be taken out regardless. His bad shot selection. His shot selection was bad, which, I mean, that's what Zach do anyway. Regardless if it was that game, he do it. That's what Zach do. Zach take bad shots, but he hit a lot of bad shots,
Yeah, let me address that. Because I was reading it too. He said he was going to take Zach out regardless, and because he take a lot of bad his shot selection was bad. And somebody else said there's no real. He also said that there's no real playoff experience, and they said Pook said that Pat Williams lost most of the whole game. So all right, let's start with that one. That Pat Williams lost most of the game. If we don't, and you're right. But let me just play devil's advocate a little bit, and the reason why he should be playing. We're playing the defending champs. Pat Williams needs this experience. If we don't put him out here now, he's going to look lost next year. So might as well get him out there. Let him get banged around. Let him get dominated. Let him get killed. Let him do what he's going to do. Let's see if we're going to get this, because he's basically he's a project. He got drafted underage and all that kind of stuff, and he didn't start. So they saw the tools, they saw the equipment. So let's see if we can develop that, right? So we got to put him out there. Why not put him out there against the best? I mean the best. So let's get him out there. Let him take it. So as far as Zach taking that shot, me personally, and even Billy Donovan said this. He said, I didn't think the shot was bad. He said, what I didn't see, if Zach had another lane, he could have taken from the angle he was watching. He didn't know that. And if he did have a lane, he should have taken that lane. But I want to say this about that shot that Zach took.
The 3-point shot, right? The
3-point shot with 30-something seconds left that would have tied the game. Hindsight is 20/20. You don't know what you're going to do. You can't second guess it. You have to go with what gets you there. Zach is, I would say, don't change your game at this moment. There are guys like Dame Lillard, Steph Curry, Booker, and Zach. That shot is actually a layup for Zach. I remember that Charlotte game. Zach went nuts. Zach can hit shots like that.
Yeah. We
can't question the time he took. If he hits that shot, he's lauded. He's a hero. If he hits that shot, Zach is a hero.
Right.
And I kind of know what Zach's thought process was, because when you're playing the Milwaukee Bucks with that few seconds left, you got to score. If you score a basket, you're still down 1. It's incredibly hard to get the ball back again and then go up for the lead. So I can't. And the old adage is, on the road you go for the win or the tie. You keep the game close. So I'm not mad at the shot. Could it have been a different shot? Yeah. But Zach makes that shot sometimes in his sleep. That's a layup for him sometimes, man. So I'm not mad at that shot. Steph Curry takes way worse shots. Now they're going to say, well, he ain't Steph Curry. But Steph Curry takes worse shots than that. He makes them. I've seen Zach make those kinds of shots. So I'm not mad at the shot. He tried to go for the dagger. He just missed it. You live on to play game 2.
I think, like you said, if he would have hit that shot, that would have took the air out of Milwaukee and the fans. It would have brought the momentum to them. So,
and he was open. He was wide open.
Yeah. But only thing about it is, wasn't nobody there to rebound when he took it. It was like people just want, and a lot of people judge Billy calling a timeout in the second half, like with 25 seconds into the second half, he called a timeout. That's because they wasn't getting back on defense. So that was another case where Zach took that 3. Wasn't nobody running up court with him. Everybody was still back court. You know what I'm saying? So they got to do more hustling on the court. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw a lot of time that they was lacking on that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but Zach take those shots, like you said. Zach take those shots. So it wasn't like a shot that we never saw him took before. Now, if it was a shot that he never took before, it's a bad shot. But those shots that Zach normally take anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Just 2-3 feet from the line, wide open. I mean,
that and I'm getting sick. Like, you know, we all came from a different era. Like when we all were accustomed to guys go down low. You brought the house down. You 2-hand jammed it. You went up for a dunk. You took the hack.
No.
This layup shit's got to stop. Like you got to have some authority. Like LaVine, and a couple times he did it yesterday. He kind of wanted to bounce off somebody and lay it up. No, go dunk it on Giannis's ass. Get him his 6th foul. Same thing with Vucevic. You're 7 feet tall, bro. Dunk that damn ball. Like I'm sick of the layup stuff. Like, no, this is playoff basketball. You have to set the tone, set the authority right off the bat and say, hey, look what Giannis did. He threw it off the backboard and dunked it in our face. Return the favor. Yeah. Stop being out there playing soft basketball. And that's what kills me is like I see Donovan, that's the way he plays. Like how he coaches it. And the guy that when Donovan was out with COVID, that guy that was coaching for him,
Chris Flenham,
he had these guys playing physical.
Yeah.
Why not assert that and say, Billy, stop with this sitting around the 3-point line crap and get these guys down low, because we all saw it. Lopez can't play defense for shit down low. And I swear there was a time I watched where Vujic had Giannis in the post and had Giannis buckling as he was backing him down.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You put that man in the post, you let him eat, you let him score his buckets, and occasionally can he kick out for a 3? Yes. But dominate down low. We don't need to go, 6 for 34 at the 3-point line. We go back old school basketball and start winning down the lane, because you watched how some of those games have gone this past weekend. Look, Tatum, game-winning layup. A layup, not a 3-pointer or a jump shot, a layup. Jordan Poole for Golden State was killing it. He was taking the ball to the cup every chance he had.
Yeah,
old school basketball, be dominant, show your assertiveness right off the bat to Milwaukee, because if you hit Milwaukee back in the mouth, you're right. You're going to take the air out of them. They're going to be like, whoa, what is this? Nobody's doing that all year.
You get confident.
And going back to that Boston game, what you just said. So Smart had an open 3. Even though them 2 guys came out on him, he had an open 3. But he took it to the basket. I guess he gave it to Brown, and Brown gave it to Tatum.
Brown gave it to Smart. He pump fake, drove in, and kicked it to Tatum, because KD's defense was somewhere left in the ocean or somewhere back in Brooklyn. But I don't know. But the man went to the bucket to win the game. They knew that, like you said, Smart knew he had an open shot, but those guys collapsing. He saw Tatum cut into the basket, and that's the one thing the Bulls don't do. Numerous times last night, Vujic in the post or DeRozan in the post, nobody cutting to the basket. Bro, you're being double teamed. Those are 2 guys that are being double teamed. Why aren't we having somebody come cut to the basket for an easy layup or an easy dunk, or at some point an easy shot? Like, what I saw was a lot of kicking out to the 3-point line, and that right there, to me, is like Billy Donovan. That shit didn't work in Oklahoma. It didn't work in college basketball at the time. Change that up. Like, have these guys cut to the basket, and see what happens. Because I guarantee you, you're going to go to the free throw line because I think they only shot maybe 4 free throws in the second half. What happened? Like, why didn't you stop going to the basket? And then the third quarter, they were.
Because it was a play that with Patrick Williams, I think it was in the third quarter. He had a wide open three, but you're not a 3-point shooter. Really, he could hit those shots. But I was thinking, like, why he just didn't go to the basket and get a foul? You know what I'm saying? Because they was going to foul because he was wide open. But you try to get back into the game. You know what I'm saying? So all those 3-point shooters, I mean, shots that they taking is like mind-boggling. Like, you're not a 3-point shooting team.
Right. You're not Golden State. You have a team that can go down low. I thought the same thing when he shot that. Like, man, go posterize somebody. I was waiting for Stacey King to bring out the poster machine and sign someone's name on it. You know, but they weren't doing that. Like, there's a lot of soft stuff, and that's not playoff basketball. If you want to be playoff basketball, I get it. You know, Levine's first time, Kobe White's first time, Io's first time, all those guys' first times except for a couple of players. But that's where DeRozan and them need to step in and say, listen, we got to play ball. This soft shit ain't going to work. This ain't the regular season. This is a whole different atmosphere.
They got to be more aggressive defensively. When you mentioned Lopez's name, did y'all watch the game on TNT or Comcast Sportsnet?
I watched Comcast Sports.
So did y'all hear when Stacey King said Robert Lopez runs a 40 in 2 weeks?
Yep.
That dude's commentary is hilarious. He said, "Go to the basket. Why are we not taking Robert Lopez?" He said, "This guy runs a 40 in 2 weeks." He was right.
Right. And he's right, though. And you see how acceptable they are. They do not have a low post presence because Lopez, again, was hacking people. Giannis was getting in foul trouble. You know, and then Bobby Portis is down there. Why not take the physicality right back to him? If they're accustomed to, you know, there was one where Levine, he hit Giannis and Giannis rolled out of bounds and flopped. Like, come on, really? You know,
it was right before the half.
Right, yeah. It's like, come on, like that. Really, you really gonna call that a foul? But then I see, you know, Bobby Portis got pushed on when they called it, you know, a foul on Levine. Bobby Portis comes down 2 plays later and pushes out Levine and everybody else and grabs the rebound and no foul called. And it's like, I'm looking at the Bulls and they're all complaining. No, like Stacey said, stop the complaining. Play through it. Right. Get back at them. Like, that's what you need to do. Bitching and moaning to the referee in the playoffs ain't going to get you anywhere right now.
At all.
I know you're probably about to go to it. Can we talk about the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
It's that segment.
I've prefaced this and I've been clear that it is my opinion, and it's subjective. 2 things. I think that Giannis is more dominant than Shaq was. And when I say that, I mean because now he's kind of taking his game to the perimeter. That's 1. And this is my opinion. 2, I think he's currently the best player in the NBA. So I want to preface that. So I don't want to say this is like, but Stevie Wonder saw that was an over-the-back call. He saw it because before Patrick Williams could clear out with his butt, the man came over his back. He had 2 hands on him, and he came over his back. Everybody knows that you're not going to make that call on the defending champ, 2-time MVP at home with 5 fouls. I don't want to seem like I'm crying about it because I already said that the 9-0 start and DeMar DeRozan not shooting well put us behind the curve.
Right.
But when we have a chance to win, you got to look at some of the things. You got to look. Officiating has to be even keel, right? Like, I mean, it can't be. Somebody said yesterday that, you know, it's going to. No, it wasn't somebody. It was Anthony Hollis Johnson. He said referees miss calls all the time. Don't downplay that. That's not a missed call. That was a fix. Nobody misses that call. You know what I mean? You got to blow the whistle. That's 6 fouls on Giannis with a couple of minutes left to go. If Giannis is out the game with a couple of minutes to go, then they're forced to go perhaps with Middleton or somebody else. Somebody else has to beat us. And that gives us a shot. So, you got to make that call, man. You got to call.
Well, And let's go through some of these comments right here because I mean they talking about Pook Smith said that no, that wasn't. I disagree. Williams didn't make a play on the ball. He hooked him.
He said he disagreed with the over the back because
yeah.
How can you not? How can you disagree with what the world saw? There's no commentator, there's no fan that said that was a foul on Patrick Williams. Right. I don't get how that was not an over the back call.
Listen, once you put your arm into somebody's back and you lean over them and they're boxing you out, that's a foul. No matter. There's no explain. Like they're trying to say he grabbed him, but when you looked at all angles, Patrick Williams never grabbed him one time. That man was over the top of him and used it to get leverage. That's a over the back foul.
Right.
Throughout the history of basketball,
they both have the right to their position. No, they don't both have the right to that particular position. That's why it's called an over the back foul. You don't have not in that case. You don't have the right to that position. That's not a jump ball or both going up for the ball. That's blocking out. That's different. You don't have the same. When the ball comes off the rim, you can't have your hand on the player's back.
No,
and then go over him. And then of course you're going to force Williams to clear out. You got to look at what happened first. He didn't have a right to that. He didn't. Williams beat him to the spot in front of him. That's post out position.
Yeah, cause and effect. Because I mean, when he was Giannis was on his back and he jumped. The hook came after the fact that he was on his back because he didn't want him to fall. That was the hook right there. It wasn't like he was hooking him to like hooking him as a foul or whatever. But I mean. People saying I think Pook Smith. He said he's a referee. He was in a post. He was saying he was a referee, and you have to. I forgot what was the word he said that if you would have jumped for if Patrick Williams would have jumped for the ball, it wouldn't have been they would have probably called a foul. I said they would have called a flagrant foul on Patrick Williams because then Giannis would have got hurt. I mean, got messed up on that play if you'd have jumped. So wait, hold on.
What rules they make for Shaq? Can somebody enlighten me?
The only rule they made for Shaq was the hack a Shaq thing.
What rules do they make for him? Because when you talk about dominance and when you have the ball coming downhill, there's nobody in the league I've ever seen that does what Giannis does. Shaq was big. Shaq got the ball, but look at what Giannis does. That dude scores every time he gets the ball, and if he gets a full steam coming down in half court, he's unstoppable. And you put him on the line, he's going to make at least 70% of the free throw. Shaq couldn't do that. And again, that's just my opinion. And then Giannis has a semblance of an outside game. Shaq don't have that. Shaq couldn't finish games with 3 minutes to go. Giannis is still in there. So there's an argument to be made, but I'm still waiting on the rules they made for Shaq. They ain't make no rules for Shaq. I mean, they made
and then he said
Chamberlain.
He said that was before the ball even hit the rim. I mean, I watched that I don't know how many times. And that play, he was boxing.
He was still over his back after he caught the damn rebound. It doesn't matter if it hit the rim or not. If once that ball is up in the air and you're establishing position and that man's going over your back, because you're going to tell me basically you're saying is that if the ball didn't hit the rim, Giannis knew the ball was coming off the rim, right? No, because if he got the rebound and was still on his back at the rebound, that's over the back. No matter what you say, I don't care if Giannis is a 5-time MVP. It's a foul. Call the foul. Plain and simple.
You know what? Even before the shot even hit the rim, that wasn't the foul. When they called the foul, it wasn't the foul. What you're talking about, it was the foul wasn't Williams hooking him before the ball hit the rim. The foul was after the fact that the ball came off the rim. So what you're saying is not accurate because the foul came after the ball came off the rim. That's what they called the foul. It wasn't
right. They blew the whistle when Giannis had the ball in his hand.
Exactly, and it was clearly it was over the back, regardless of the fact. I mean, but. They're not going to get the best player out.
So basically, what needs to happen is that you need to teach that Tristan Thompson is the guy to teach him. If they're not going to give you that call, let his ass fall. He hurts himself. He hurts himself. You got to go back to being physical and playing old school basketball. And I was saying, I was screaming at the TV yesterday. Like, you can't let Giannis just come down the lane and get these easy buckets. Hack his ass. Put him to the free throw line. Show him that this ain't no easy game that you're going to walk down here and bully people. No. You come down to this lane, you're going to earn your buckets. And that's what guys need to do. Stop being afraid. Like, that's – and with these youngsters now, like, even if, you go play basketball against some of these young kids, they don't like the contact. That's basketball. It's always been basketball. It's always been even in street ball. Listen, no blood, no foul. You had to earn your buckets. Same thing to transfer to the NBA. When we all watched Bill Laimbeer and Barkley and Rick Mahorn and all those guys, they put you on your ass when you came down the lane. That needs to be accustomed to this game again. If you're going to come down this lane, don't matter who you are, LeBron, Durant, Giannis, don't care who you are. Somebody needs to step up and say, listen, you're going to earn these 2 points. Go ahead and dunk on me, but I'm gonna leave an impression on you when you come down this lane. And that's what it is. The NBA has gotten so soft with this shit. It's just ridiculous.
And that's why they need to play Tristan Thompson a little bit more, because he's that goon that's gonna do that stuff or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think they should play Derrick Jones Jr. a little bit more, because he could defend. I ain't gonna say he can stop him. I'm not saying he could stop him, but he contained him a little bit better because he's athletic. He could get back. If he get beat, he could get back and block the shot or whatnot.
When he was in there, it seemed like he was the only one going to get rebounds. He was getting offensive rebounds while he was out there. Yeah. So it's like, why do you take that out, Donovan? I don't understand what you're doing. Like, I get it if you want to put Caruso and LaVine back in the last couple minutes of the game, but let Derrick Jones out there. If he's the only one fighting for offensive rebounds and he's getting them, and he's giving you extra shots, why are you taking that out? I get you want to put your stars in the game, but these guys got you to back into this game. These guys got you to get a lead, a 5-point lead. Why are you not riding with them to say, hey, listen, because that's one thing Thibodeau did. When he used to have the bench squad, if the starting five wasn't doing crap and the bench squad brought them back, he rode with those guys and say, listen, get this game till we get to a point where I can bring these guys in and they can be the closers now. That's all he's got to do.
And he got to, I mean, I don't know. He kind of shined away from Green too. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why. What worked for you in the regular season, you're going away from it to me. He's going away from it. And Green was playing good in the regular season. I don't know how many minutes he got. He didn't get that many minutes. You got to go with people that's going to be do that extra stuff, especially when coming to playoff. You need that player to do that extra stuff. May not be scoring. It's that extra stuff that's going to get you the ball and get you going or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was subbing players out quickly. I don't know what it was. Okay, who was that? Who was that? Pook Smith said, but Giannis has. Wait, we still talking about that one. Giannis has move that thing out the way.
Has a right to the spot, just like Williams. Williams never made a play at the ball. He went very low, moving Giannis out. That's what boxing out is. Yeah, you just don't stand there and just go like this and just say, hey, you can't get around me. No, when you box out, you put your ass into somebody and you move them the hell out the way.
Yeah, you find a body. That's what it's called. Yeah, you find a body.
Stop justifying this, man. The man had 5 fouls. There wasn't a referee on this planet that was about to eliminate Giannis and put him on the bench. Next.
Yeah, because I mean, it just wasn't gonna happen. Because then they would be like, "You don't make that call. You don't make that call. You don't."
Man, he would be summoned to the NBA offices immediately after the game. Did you call?
Right. Next time, you know what? If that's me downloading on Patrick Williams, I ain't giving a crap about Giannis and his health at this point. Fall and get hurt. If you're not going to call the call, and I'm trying to be nice by holding him up there for a second to make sure he doesn't get hurt, next time I'm letting your ass go. And then when people say, well, why didn't you do that? Well, you obviously had a problem. You called a foul on me when I tried to help him.
Right. I mean, but like I said, this all comes with the experience. The fact that the Bulls didn't play that good, but the fact that they came back in a game that they wasn't playing good made it hurt a little bit, like making it sting a little bit more because they came back. They had a 5-point lead. When they had that 5-point lead, it was like they was playing not to make a mistake, but they started making a mistake because they started shooting unnecessary threes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Again, that's there's at that point it's like 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. Why aren't you trying to work down low and get these guys in foul trouble again? Like you just in the third quarter, you saw what Vujacic did. Why not go back to that? Why are you saying, all right, I'm gonna go back to this one-on-one and let DeRozan keep shooting? DeRozan was having an off night. You need to go back to what works. And Vujacic down low in the post was working. Now you go into game 2, you know that it works. Now they're going to start to look to double team him. Now, Donovan, you say, hey, guys, if you're standing at the three-point line and you see the guy come over to double team, cut to the basket. And that's all you got to do, because now it's a whole different ball game. And now Milwaukee has to adjust to that. And they couldn't do that. They were just basically, oh, shit, he came down here. They're waiting for you to throw the ball to the three-point line. And then they got 4 guys down there, grabbing rebounds. And we don't see a single Bulls player there because we got 4 guys standing on the three-point line waiting to say, he's going to make it. Oh, my God, I hope he makes it. Well, if we get a long rebound, maybe we'll make it. No, man, you guys got to get away from that mentality completely.
And the thing is that they had actually that pick and roll up top is what Boots is doing. They challenged him to take that shot, and he's taking the shot. Like, no, makes him come up a little bit and come up in a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and set that pick. And because when he pick, he going right to that three-point line up top of the key. I don't understand that.
And here's the thing is, take a page out of Milwaukee's book. Milwaukee was running that pick and roll with Lopez, and Lopez was coming right down the lane. Yeah. Hit him with a shot, a nice little floater, nice little hook shot, 5-6 feet out. Do the same thing, Vujacic. They're not expecting that. They're letting you shoot threes because they know you're like a 20% three-point shooter. You may hit a couple here and there, but you're not going to go on a streak where you're hitting 5 for 5, 6 for 6. No, you're not that guy. You're 7 feet tall. Take your big ass down low.
Right. What you got, Marcus?
No, I mean, I would just, my takeaway, man, I would be encouraged. Like I say, it's kind of glass half empty, glass half full, because what you can say about the Bulls not shooting well, you can say that about Milwaukee not shooting well. But here's probably the deciding factor between that. I don't think Lopez is going to have the type of game he had in game 2. No. That if he does, we're done. If Lopez becomes an X factor, we're done. I don't think he's going to have. I mean, it's Robin Lopez. We know what he is for career. I'm not saying. I mean, he's a solid NBA player, but Lopez is not going to have that game. So even if both teams shoot well, I mean, there's always the 10-ton mega bomb in Giannis. He's gonna go off 30-something, 40-something one of these games, series, maybe 2. So that's going to happen. But if we can get DeMar to be fourth quarter DeMar, where he scores his 30, we can get Zach to put in 26. That'll offset Giannis' dominance. That genuinely done because you even have Middleton going for his 2021. So that'll offset. So, but we cannot have Robin Lopez playing the type of game that he played yesterday, because the total summation of the Bulls' parts, I think we got the talent, we got the offense. You got to realize both teams both scored under 100 points, 93-86. So if you get Kobe, and I said it, my halftime takeaways, I said we got to get Kobe White going, and he got going. So we can keep Kobe White going. If we can get, if Vooch can continue to play like he played, if we get some more production off the bench, if Caruso can knock down some more shots, and if Ayo can get it going, and I like the experience that Ayo's getting. This is all good. Nobody even expected us to get to playoffs. So this is all good. This is preliminary. This is trial. So I'm good with it. Everything that's happened with us. But if we can be better, just flat out be better, we have a chance. This game showed us that we have a chance, and also said I would be even more encouraged if Ball was playing. Look at what we did without Lonzo Ball. So I mean, I still would say the Bucks are the favorite, of course, but I think we can get 2 games. We should be able to win at least the 2 home games, or even if we sneak this game away, win 1 at home, we sneak game 2, win 1 at home, we should be okay. And I'm not into like moral victories, like, oh yeah, we contended. I'm proud.
Oh, I think.
But it is a victory to compete with. We're playing the defending champions.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is playing the defending champs. I honestly think if you can go in and you can steal game 2 from them, with them thinking that they won because of whatever reasons, because we didn't hit shots. If we can come out and we can bang them and win the second game, I think we take a little air out of them. And I think going into Chicago with momentum and the crowd behind the Bulls, I think the Bulls can be okay. We can win these 2 games here and make it a series now, you know, and put them on notice. Hey, Milwaukee, we know you're the defending champs, but we're right here with you right now. So this ain't last year. This is this year, you know. And I think that's what you knew. You got to turn up the physicality. You got to get these substitutions right. You got to play a different ball game because teams now are just accustomed to seeing you guys shoot 3-pointers and then one-on-one with DeRozan at the end. Right. You know, you got to change it up. You got to, you know, turn it around because teams now are going to be like, well, how do we defend this now? Like we're accustomed to guarding 2 guys on DeRozan. Vucevic can shoot threes. Levine's Levine, and we're just going to let everybody else do what they want. You change up that game plan on these guys going into it now. They got to get back and be like, shit. Well, how do we got to look at film right away? How do we counteract this? How do we stop this? Because,
right,
you know, if you look at it like how last year, how you know, Atlanta played Milwaukee. Man, oh man, they gave them a run for their money. There's a blueprint right there. Yeah. You know, you got to be aggressive. You have to be physical. That is the key to beating Milwaukee. Milwaukee's always coming to every game they play as the more physical team because Giannis is a bully down there. Portis is a bully. Lopez is a bully. Even Matthews and the other, I forget the guy's name again, the guard. They're physical players.
Middleton is dirty. They're bullies and physical, but they're
not dirty. They're physical. Yes. Middleton is the only one that is not physical. He's the one that likes to hit jumpers and he plays a little bit off you. But the rest of those guys come in and they get in your mindset because they get up on you. Hey, I'm here. And they're like, oh, shit, you know, what the hell do I do? Bring it right back to them. Show them that, hey, we're no punks. And I guarantee you Milwaukee will fold under that pressure because they're the ones normally being the bully. Be a bully back because then if you bully a bully, and that bully ain't going to know what to do now. Like, he's like, oh, shit, I got to change it up. I got to be more physical. You know, like you have to play mind games now. You have to, you know, I guess, like I said, I'm a homer. I'm accustomed, you know, watching the Bulls of the old, you know, and that was the thing with the Bulls was there was teams that came at the Bulls back in the Jordan era that knew the Bulls were physical and played mindset. Even before the Bulls were physical, that Pistons series against the Bulls, that taught the Bulls to become out and get more physical. That, hey, you have to smack a team in the mouth to get respect.
Yeah.
Everything,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Everything Tim said is 1,000%, and it's valuable. It's paramount to the building of this team and what they should be next year. Learning how to smack a team in the mouth, playing the defending champion. Like, okay, this is what it is. They ain't playing with us. They coming at us. They throwing forearm. This is what it is. So everything you said, Tim, is right on, man. And I'm grateful for this playoff experience, man. I mean, the young Io, Kobe White, Patrick Williams, who he's going to look like, man, I need to be more assertive. I need to be way more aggressive.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, so this is valuable, man.
Playoff is a different beast, and my thing is, if the Bulls pull this next game out on Wednesday, I think Milwaukee's in trouble because they're going to look at this. If they lose Wednesday, knowing that they could have lost that first game too, they got to regroup because they got to figure like, okay, they own us or something. They got to feel something. I know they're probably feeling it right now, like we really should have won that game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's saying, okay, Milwaukee won yesterday. They had an off night or whatever. But if you look at their number-wise, they had their numbers that they normally would get, other than because Giannis had 27. Brook Lopez had one of his games or whatever. They kind of like they pretty much had their numbers. Bulls is just playing better. They was playing better defense this time around. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, why we can't say the Bulls had one of those games too? Because DeMar DeRozan 18, Zach LaVine 18. Nobody had played out of the.
That's pretty much the narrative. That's why I said the Bulls shot bad, but then again, you can also say they shot bad. But to me, the difference in that game was Lopez. I don't care what nobody says.
Lopez definitely was a difference in that game because he started out that game scoring buckets, and it was like, oh shit. You know?
Even in fourth quarter, remember that wild shot he threw up and it went in and won?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't got that in your game.
But hold on. The Bulls lost not because the Milwaukee Bucks was playing good defense. They just was missing shots. Milwaukee barely won Milwaukee barely won because Bulls was missing shots. If Bulls would have missed, I mean, at least shot what like 40%.
No, I think they shot like 30. Yeah, they shot horrible. And then but here's the thing that killed me out of more than anything was in that third quarter, we had even lead to the fourth quarter. I think it was Kobe White rattled off 5 straight points, and you take him out. Why? Why did you do that? The man's got the hot hand. Feed him the ball. If he comes down on the next 2 plays and he shoots some errant shots or makes a bad play, then you go back to Caruso. But this man came and he wasn't afraid. He shot the 3, made it, came down the lane on Giannis and them and put up a floater. Yeah. Let the man get in there because you need that Kobe White that we're all accustomed to of being Kobe White. Let Kobe White do his thing because, hey, Kobe White might have rattled off 4 more points and gave us a bigger lead at that time where we could say, okay, now let's bring Caruso in. Let's play some defense and get into their mind. And then, hey, I'm going to go right back to Kobe White because now you got to guard this guy again. And that's the thing that killed me. Like my thing going into this game too is I don't mind it if the Bulls lose by a couple points, but I want at the end of the game, I want them to, when they're interviewing Giannis and the coach from Milwaukee and those guys sitting there with ice packs on their arms and knees and heads and legs and shit and be like, hey, they came to battle. That's what I want to see because I want Milwaukee to know that, hey, you got a taste of it. Coming into Chicago, that physicality is going to be turned up a little bit more now. And we're gonna come bang with you. That's what I want to see. I just think the Bulls beat themselves. Period.
Oh yeah, they did. But the Bulls just beat themselves because they had a chance. If they was on a little bit, Milwaukee was shooting bad because the Bulls was playing good defense. It wasn't like they was missing shots or what open shots. The Bulls was playing good defense. They was making Milwaukee play take bad shots. You know what I'm saying? It was because of the good defense. The Bulls lost because they was missing good shots that they should go in. You know what I'm saying? It was because,
You're right, but I think it's collective because remember that only Tristan Thompson, Caruso, and DeRozan have experience, and they played like it early on. That's how you got down. Now they thinking this is right before the All-Star break. Let's just No, Milwaukee came out and smacked them in the mouth. Like, we about to try to get rid of you, and in the process of it, take away all your confidence. So, and they played every bit of like, they ain't, wait. Oh, I didn't know we were supposed to be aggressive. I didn't know every possession was valuable. I'm sorry. Right. They played just like that. So now, game 2, this is what Donovan has to say. Y'all saw what happened, right? What Tim was saying, go right at him. Punch him in the mouth. Let's do it. Let's do it early, and let's do it often. So and that's an adjustment. Adjustments are not all X's and O's. That's an adjustment. Go at them hard. Go at them early. Go at them often.
And that's the thing. And they got a guy, a coach on that bench that played like that, and his name is Maurice Cheeks. He needs to come in and say, guys, listen, you played good defense in this game, but I need you to up a little bit more. And hey, if guys coming down the lane, I'm putting you on your ass.
Yeah.
And I know they call it these BS flagrant 1s and flagrant 2 calls. Hey, you got guys on the bench that if you put them in to send that message to somebody, they'll probably do it. Like Bradley. Hey, listen, Tony, you may not play this series, but I'm gonna put you in on this one. If Giannis comes down that lane, put him on his ass. Do something and show somebody, hey, this shit ain't sweet over here. You're gonna earn these buckets, man. And that's the thing is. That's basketball I grew up watching. That's the basketball I've always been accustomed to, and just watching that. Hey, watching these guys back in the day is like, I hated the Pistons, but I was a Bill Laimbeer, Rick Mahorn fan. You came down that lane, man, you left with stitches and everything, broken noses and everything else because they made you earn those points. And those are the guys that turned Michael Jordan to what he was later in his career because they battered him, they beat him. And they made him get to his mindset of, I got to beat these guys. I got to get stronger. I got to get better. And that's what the Bulls started doing. They started smacking people in the mouth and saying, hey, if these teams can do it, I'm going to do it. And that's
they got to make a statement. They got to make a statement because the thing is that the guy from Milwaukee who broke Caruso hand, even though he don't do nothing. Bulls players is not going in the lane like that because he made a he put a statement out there. Okay, y'all going in this lane, what's going to happen? So it got to take a Bull player like a Tristan Thompson maybe to go in there because that little foul that Boots did on that guy when they played in Chicago last time they played, that was a weak ass foul. It wasn't like hard, to me it wasn't hard. They need to put somebody on their ass, you know what I'm saying, and say, you come in here, this is going to happen every time.
Right. Set the tone. Call it, hey, Kobe, if he's guarding Kobe White and he's coming on a pick play, hey, set that firm ass pick out the blue. Take a cheap shot, knock him on his ass. Yeah, shit. That's where you guys are sitting there like, man, dude, fuck. Tristan Thompson's back in the game. Did you just see what he did to Grayson Allen? Right. Shit. They're gonna fight around that pick. Like that's what you got to do, and it comes down to. Yeah, the Bulls had that game. Milwaukee was giving them the game, and it's just bad shot selection, shots not going in. It was a custom of a lot of stuff that caused the Bulls to lose that game.
Yeah, and that's what I said. It wasn't what Milwaukee did to have them the Bulls lose. They just missed those shots. They just missed open shots.
And like I said,
Bulls play good defense.
You ramp up you got to ramp up the physicality, man. Because I'm watching these other teams, and they're setting the standard. They're setting the tone. Like that Boston New Jersey game was a great game to watch. You know what I mean? Like they were back and forth. They were in each other's grill. You know what I mean? Like you can't just sit back and play lackadaisical and think that, I get it. That's your first playoff game for all those youngsters. And it's good to see them. But the Tristan Thompsons, the DeRozans, the Vujicic need to step on. Caruso's and stuff. Listen, every game is going to be like that from now on. I need you to step up. Don't be afraid to get a personal foul. Don't be afraid to be physical. This is okay. This is playoff basketball. This ain't the regular season. This ain't summer league. You got to be, hey, you saw after the game. This is what I be telling guys. Listen, you saw after the games in the regular season. We shook hands. We buddied up. We talked about going to dinner. Look what happens here. We don't talk. We don't shake hands.
Right.
For those 48 minutes, that is not your friend. That's your enemy. And when the game is over, tell him to take his ass to his locker room because that's where you're going to. We ain't shaking hands.
There's no, and that's what NBA is missing. There's no rivalries. There's no rivalry. Only time it becomes a rivalry if a player leaves to go to another team. That makes it a rivalry. But it ain't a rivalry that's going like back and forth. We lose to this team every year. We got to get over the hump. Getting over the hump is getting over a player you just traded because he didn't want to play for your team. Now like if Brooklyn played the 76ers, that's a rivalry. It ain't no damn rivalry. It's y'all mad because he didn't want to play with y'all or whatever. So it's a bunch of I like the way it was back in the day, but we can't even talk about that because some things.
Oh no, you can't because people nowadays are soft. People want to cry and shit about things that have been brought up. Like, man, I loved watching the Bulls and Knicks series. Man, that was a battle. Even against the Pacers was a battle. They're playing physical ball.
90s, man. How about the Miami Heat?
Miami Heat. Oh my God, that was probably something besides the Bulls, Knicks. That Miami New York series was always amazing to watch because it was bad blood, and you enjoyed basketball for what it was. Now you get these guys coming down the lane. They sprain their finger and it's I got to sit out 35 games. No, man, get your ass back in there. And this is where I blame it down to. I blame that soccer mom shit that you get a trophy for second place crap. No, man, you battle out to be a number one. You battle to be the best. That's what was always instilled in us as children is. Listen, you strive to be the best. You strive to win that championship. If you don't win it this year, you work that much harder. And I think that's what changed. That's what influenced us as men to be that work. To have that mentality of hard work and to strive to be something in your life, to be better, to do better. Nowadays, man, you see these kids now want to make $15 to $20 an hour, and they don't do shit for it. They come to work and they sit there and they flap their gums and they're saying, well, man, I don't have to do that, but I'm making $20 an hour. No, man. Back when we were doing this, no, we had to earn that.
Yeah.
Remember where we were? Remember where we were? We was at your mom's crib when we watched that Bulls-Knicks game when what's his name? Got a shot blocked like 3-4 times to end that series. It was on 47th and Greenwood. Yeah. We were at the mom group watching the game. Bulls won 4 straight after dropping the first 2. It was bad blood. The Bulls lost the first 2 games of that series, man. But I remember, and I had the privilege, man, of asking Alonzo Mourning. It's not a name drop because I work at a hotel. I checked in a lot of guys. I said, man, because he came to check in with me. I was like, man, I'm still mad at you, man, for putting that mouse on Pippen's head. He started cracking up. He was like, oh, man, you know, that's how it was back in the day. That's all he That's all he had. That's how it was back in the day. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So that speaks volumes to what you're saying, Tim.
Yeah.
That's how it was back in the day.
That's how it was. You know what I mean? And like,
remember that head that was on Men in Black 2? That second head that stuck out of him. That's what Pippen had. He had a second head, man.
Right, and Pippen had to go into the next game too. It's just sitting there like that's how it was. But not even that. Like one of my greatest memories was watching when that fight broke out with Miami and New York, and Van Gundy was on Buddy's leg. That was on Morning's leg trying to hold on. Like that's what it was. That was basketball. You know what I mean? Like even Shaq with Barkley. Barkley was taking it to, giving it to say, hey, you ain't gonna do this shit. And they're good friends now. But that's what is lost its lackluster of the game is that physicality. Now it's guys are coming down the lane doing ridiculous dunks and everybody's running out of the way like, oh my God. No, man. What do you take a charge? Do something. Yeah. It's like, but it's so many factors have changed in this game. Like, money has changed people. Watching basketball was so physical. Same thing with the NFL. Same thing with baseball. Like you can't throw inside no more to people because you may hit them. No, you crowd the plate. You expect the 90-mile-per-hour fastball coming buzzing by your damn head. But get back.
But Tim, the NBA has a lot to do with it as well.
Oh yeah,
not just that players are soft, but the NBA you can't. If a guy has a $300 million shoe contract, he's a little bit more. The league knows that you can't really He has a $300 million shoe contract. There are insurances on him. That's why Paul George couldn't play that game. He couldn't play down the stretch. The game when they came to Chicago, he's on a minute restriction. They're real like you can't touch this guy. You can't say this, and then you have everything that's all on social media, internet. You can't say certain things. Everything is softer now, and because like in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't the $100 million contracts and endorsements that it was that if you said a certain thing, especially all of Europe now is all involved. They weren't involved. So if the game is to remain global, a lot of the elements was taken out. All the brutality or putting a guy on his butt, the contracts, just the viewership, the NBA is not going to lose that. They're in a place now where they were way under. They were even under hockey back in the 80s as far as viewership. Now Michael Jordan put it global. They intend to keep it global. So a lot of that has to do with it, and it's all a money game, man.
But it's messed up though because it seems like since they watered it down, a lot of players are getting more hurt than it was back then. Because even though Jordan was going through that stuff, they wasn't getting hurt. They was just getting probably bruised, but they wasn't getting hurt like these guys, like you said, taking off for a fingernail break. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's my thing is like. I'm all fine and dandy for you getting your big contracts out of basketball, shoe deals and endorsement deals and all stuff like that. But man, none of these guys are worth no $100 million, $200, $300 million contracts, man. That's the problem right there was of overpaying these players because now they're all prima donnas, man. They're walking around with their own clothing line and look at Russell Westbrook. What the hell is he doing? He's dressing up like a weirdo every damn night. You know what I mean? Like. And money does change people, but back in the day, growing up, man, it was all instilled in us. You wanted to earn, you wanted to get that money, you had to prove it. You had to earn it in the way of getting there. Like LeBron, he's the best now, and Giannis and them, but they're not worth no $100 million contracts. Jordan, when Jordan made $38 million, we even still questioned ourselves, like, man, that's a lot of money to give to a player. But Jordan was worth it. You know what I mean?
Here's what I would say about it, Tim.
You know what I mean? And the thing is like, and I even think this, like, I even think some like what they did at 75. I think some of those players they put in there should not have been in there. Some of those younger guys, you haven't done shit to earn that spot on the top 75 because there were so many great players that were left out.
Well, Jordan, I mean, go ahead, Marcus.
I was just gonna say, here's what I would say about the players that earn. I'm not mad at the money they get. The principle in which I'm not mad at the money they get. Because whatever huge contract a player gets, you better believe the owner is making 10 times more of that.
Oh yeah.
So, and they're doing it off the backs of these players because ticket pricing and concession, they're not even missing that money. Forget that.
No.
It's all about the TV contract,
Yeah.
radio contract. This is, man, it is the money that they are making. This is why you have these disputes, these player and owner lockouts and all that kind of stuff. The player knows how much money they're getting. And then you add food and concession, 41 games a year, 41 home games. The ticket prices, they can let you in for free and still make a killing because the food and concession, everybody eats at ball games. The average person spends at least $30 when they go to a game. The reason why is because they go with somebody else. Nobody rarely goes to a game alone. So you multiply, this is do quick math. Multiply $30 times 20,000 people. We're not even talking parking. We're not talking. So what I'm saying is the players are saying, wait a minute, they're here to see us. We understand that you own a team, but if we don't, if we're the product,
right?
They deserve that particular piece. Now, are they worth it on the floor? I don't know. That comes into question. But they deserve it because their name has been marketed, and it's all about marketing. So they would deserve that money on that merit alone. That's my take of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, man, we're keeping in tune with this because I think I just say if the Bulls pull this out of game 2, Milwaukee's in trouble. If they pull it now, if the Bulls lose this one, yeah, they probably just win one game and it's up. But if Bulls pull this off Wednesday, Milwaukee in trouble. Yeah, because they got to regroup. They got to regroup and find out what's going on. Because I can take
Madhouse on Madison.
I could see them going 1-1 and then Bulls, even if they go to play in Bulls and they split that. Now it's getting interesting. Even if Bulls don't win both games in Chicago. Now it's 2-2. Now it's going back and forth, back and forth. They lose tomorrow. I mean, Wednesday. Bulls win Wednesday. It's going to be a series. I'm going to tell you that right now. If they win Wednesday, it's going to be a series. Okay. But we'll keep everybody posted what's going on. Our thoughts of what's going on in the playoff. We didn't get into the rest of the playoff because we so focused on this Bulls game, or whatever. But we will touch on other playoff game as they come. I don't know who's playing right now.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think the Sixers won that game.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we'll keep everybody tuned in. Like I said, tune in into it. We'll probably come back on Thursday and give you a rundown of what happened with the Bulls game on Wednesday. So
until then, man, I'm sorry. I know you're sounding off. Why we don't talk about the White Sox and Cubs no more, man? Or ever? Why we don't? Can you give me just
we can talk about the White Sox and Cubs. White Sox are playing like world beaters right now, and you know they're top of their league, and they look good. They from top.
Don't ever talk about them, man. He don't ever have no show. Hey, he'll never inbox. Hey, man, we need to do a show.
Hey, listen, the Cubs are doing a lot more than I expected them to do. Suzuki looks good. The one thing I will say though, the Cubs lead the league in batting average, and man, by far they lead the batting average.
You don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I mean that's great. But keep in mind, most pitchers are pitching just 4 innings because of spring training.
I know.
Well, let's put it in perspective, man.
Well, that's why we're not talking about it then. I mean, the season just started.
We talk about the Bulls when the season first started. I mean, come on, man. Talk about the White Sox, who has the best record in the AL.
Listen,
that's the big one is totally different.
The only thing I'm keeping quiet about right now is the Chicago Bears because I'm just waiting in the wings to see what the hell they do before I say anything.
Is the draft Wednesday? I mean Thursday?
The 28th, the following Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. Now we'll get into Cubs talk or whatever. I'm just trying to feel things out. Y'all doing enough talking in the
I will say one thing though. Cubs Sox series, Suzuki hits 2 home runs.
I don't care if he hit 5. We win in all 4 games.
We'll get into some Cubs and Sox talk as well. We'll try to build that up.
Tim, he's going to avoid it. He's going to duck it. No, he's not.
Yo, it's a Thursday, man. We just check it out, man. See you later.
Peace out.